After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. "I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night," says the boy. "I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remembered it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. He said, 'Go to sleep.' I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming it at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around trying to knock him off. That's when my dad busted. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of my neighbors hadn't alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash like glass breaking, and where was I? As if I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. It looked like I looked down and saw him vanish in the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes, and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in the story, please contact your local police department. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten promotion at work, and I thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Leo couldn't complain though. A new better house? What was not to love? As if they were getting unpacked when the neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my 2 sons, Jeff and Leo." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family were done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. "Mom, why would they invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." "Jeff," said his mother, "we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to the party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not as much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as though just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and get ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time, it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Leo finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. "Hey, what the hell?" The kid landed and turned back to him. He kicked his skateboard up and caught in his hands. The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He was an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. "Well, well, well, it looks like we got some new meat." Suddenly 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. "Well, since you're new here, I'd like you to introduce ourselves. Over there's Keith." Jeff and Leo looked over at the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. "And he's Troy." They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. "And I," said the first kid, "am Randy." Now, for all the kids in the neighborhood, there was a small price for a bus fare, if you catch my drift. Leo stood up ready to punch the lights out of this kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I'd hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems you must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Leo and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling, now. It was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Leo gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. "Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else." Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. "Oh, and what will you do?" Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach, and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Lee could do nothing but look at amazement at Jeff. "Jeff, how'd you?" That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing, so they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Leo made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Leo just thought that his brother beat up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got the feeling, he felt how powerful it was, the urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away, and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home, due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said, in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked around to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me you attacked 3 kids, and that it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed." "Stabbed, son." Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled on the knives on me and Leo." "Son," said one of the cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us?" Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Leo had been attacked, but there was no proof. It was not them who was attacked first. They couldn't say that they were fleeing because, truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself, or Leo. "Son, call down your brother." Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. "Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Leo tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me." The cop looked at his partner, and they both nodded. "Well, kid looks like a year in juvie." "Wait," said Leo. They looked up and see a holy knife. The officer pulled their gun and locked them on Leo. "It was me. I beat up those punks. Had the marks to prove it." He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. "Son, just put the knife down," said the officer. Leo held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. "No, Leo, it was me. I did it." Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. "Well, take me away." The police let Leo out to the patrol car. "Leo, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids." Jeff's mother put her hand on his shoulders. "Jeff, please. If you don't want to have to lie, we know it's Leo. You can't stop." Jeff watched helplessly as a cop car sped off with Leo inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it?" Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back to the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Leo when it was his fault. He just wanted to sleep, just trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Leo at JDC. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff was woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. "Jeff, it's the day," she said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. What's today?" asked Jeff as he stares awake. "Why, it's Billy's party." He was now fully awake. "Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after—" There was a long pause. "Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that burns up the past days. Now get dressed." Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked up a random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why they would ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party. "Son, is that all you're going to wear?" said Jeff's mom. "Better than wearing too much," he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. "Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression," said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. "I don't have any fancy clothes," he yelled downstairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. "You wearing that?" they both said. His mother looked at her watch. "Oh no, time to change." "Oh, no time to change. Let's just go," she said as she herded Jeff and his father at the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door and peered that Barbara, just like her parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults. No kids. "The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them?" said Barbara. Jeff walked outside in a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun in hand. "Hey, wanna play?" he asked. He said. No, kid, I'm too old for this stuff." The kid looked at him with the weird puppy dog face. "Please," said the kid. "Fine," said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It might have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something to take his mind off of Leo. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise, a weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. "Hello, Jeff, is it?" he said. "We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you got my brother sent to JDC. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. "Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that other day, but not today." As he said, Randy rushed at Jeff, and they both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming. Parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith pulled gun out of their pockets. "No one interrupts our guts will fly," they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started to kick him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabbed his foot and twisted, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. "Need some help?" He picks Jeff up by the back of his collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. "Come on, Jeff, fight me." He picks up Jeff and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. "Bite!" He throws Jeff back into the living room. "Come on, Jeff, look at me." Jeff glanced up, his face riddled with blood. "I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just going to sit there and let him run there for a whole year? You should be ashamed." Jeff starts to get up. "Oh, finally, you stand and fight?" Jeff is now on his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. "Finally, he's up," says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile-drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him, punch after punch. Blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although they easily break